the place he died, from all the taser. They pick up all of them, but they miss one.
Athanasia Zapantis kept the wire.
Why did you keep it?
Memories. Bad memories, but
It is evidence from the night her son died.
I can't sleep anymore. I kept thinking of him. Every single day. All the times. Why they kill him?
It was June 2020. George Zapantis, who was 29 years old and diagnosed with bipolar disorder, was dressed as a gladiator with a sword, an activity his mother says he did from time to time, harkening back to his family's heritage in Greece.
Just step back with the sword.
He had gotten into a dispute with a neighbor. A bystander called 911.
Whatever you have on you.
The police came to the house.
Somebody go taser.
No.
Can you turn around?
Can you just turn around for me? But you can't come out the way you came out.
Yeah, but you guys, look at you. Look at your waist, bro.
Did you see me touching my...
Things escalated.
Get down.
Come on.
Get back.
Get back.
Come on, bro. Come out right now, bro.
Gotta stop. Stop.
Over the next several minutes, tasers were used by the NYPD at least 4 times.
Stop. Resist it. Get down. Get down. Get down on the ground. Get down. Get down. Just stop.
Breathing, right?
And then Zapantis went still.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah, he's got pulse.
Zapantis had gone into cardiac arrest and died.
I don't think it's fair for any mother to go through like that. And I never wish to anybody.
According to an investigation from the state attorney general's office, 2 officers used their electrical weapons on Zapantis simultaneously.
Put your hands behind your back and stop.
Finding his total exposure time to a taser was about 35 seconds. That's more than twice the maximum time the NYPD recommends.
Arm. Aim. Threat. Taser.
NYPD training material obtained by New York One through the state's Freedom of Information law warns against multiple taser discharges. And even the NYPD's patrol guide says exposing someone to a taser for more than 15 seconds can increase the risk of serious injury or death.
It's not a good thing to use the taser at all. And especially if they did to him so many times. They tasered him all over.
In a statement to New York One, an NYPD spokesman said the Attorney General's investigation found the officers in this case were, quote, legally justified in their actions. An NYPD internal investigation also found, quote, the officers' actions were within department guidelines.
Put him down.
According to the city's medical examiner's office, there have been at least 3 police-involved deaths in the last 10 years where a taser was a contributing factor. In these cases, the NYPD has classified these deaths as medical.
Wait.
The medical examiner's office has called them all homicides. No criminal charges have been brought in any of these cases. The most recent death, Adrian Ceballos, who according to the medical examiner's office had schizophrenia, was shot with a taser by police outside of his home in August of 2024 and later died from cardiac dysrhythmia. His death has not been disclosed until now. The NYPD has not released any body camera video in that case. For months, New York One investigated how the NYPD has used its conducted electrical weapons, commonly referred to by their brand name, tasers. In the last decade, the NYPD has more than tripled its usage, turning to the weapon more frequently, especially against people in mental health crisis. Through the state's Freedom of Information law, New York One obtained more than 730 reports detailing incidents when the NYPD deployed tasers on people in mental health crisis in 2022 and 2023. In many of these instances, the NYPD officers say they deployed their electrical weapons because the person was resisting handcuffs, refusing transportation to a hospital for psychiatric evaluation, or they were tensing up their body. Taser's own product safety warning highlights certain groups who may be particularly susceptible to the electrical weapon, like those profoundly agitated or under the influence of drugs. The NYPD acknowledges this includes people who are having a mental health crisis.
Does the NYPD think that people in mental health crisis falls within that particularly susceptible individual definition?
It can. It depends on the individual, him or herself, of course, right? The susceptible individuals that the department and even Axon Enterprise recommend you try not to use the taser on would include obviously pregnant women, children, elderly, and even people who will have a very low body mass index.
Axon Enterprise is Taser's parent company. They have not responded to repeated requests for comment for this story. In a statement, an NYPD spokesperson said any use of force during mental health calls only occurs 1% of the time. Tasers are used in just a tiny fraction of these overall incidents. Still, the deployment of these electrical weapons against Zapantis and others proved to be fatal. In other cases New York One examined, the tasers didn't work at all. According to New York One's investigation in 2022, a taser did not work on its first attempt in 35% of incidents involving someone in mental health crisis. The following year, in 2023, in 29% of cases, the taser did not work on the first try. And while about a quarter of cases involve someone violent with a weapon, in 2023, New York One's investigation found 73% of the people in these incidents were not listed as having a weapon and were unarmed.
You can see that
Officials at the NYPD say tasers are a useful tool if deployed correctly.
at the end of the day, the accuracy or the efficacy of any of the force options is really up to the individual officers. So how well they use the individual tools they have on them will dictate the efficacy of the force that they decide to use at that particular moment.
Sometimes that means the probes do not penetrate thick clothing, or the wires break or aren't spread far enough apart, or the officers just miss entirely.
Shoot the taser at his back! Shoot the taser at his
Still, NYPD officials say it's a tool worth using if someone is aggressive or resisting.
Taser, taser, taser. If the officers are presented with those two situations, that active aggression or that active resistance, if you will, a taser is an option that the officer is allowed to use. Make safe, break the wires, recover.
Essentially, it feels like you're being burnt from the inside out. So I used...
Angelique Korthals is a forensic pathologist and anthropologist, biomedical researcher, and professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
Through the skin. It's two wires under heavy compression that are sent out very fast. They're electrical wires that are attached to two harpoon-like devices, little sort of hooks that hit the individual and deliver a 20 to 50,000 volt electric shock. What happens to the individual at that point is their central nervous system gets disrupted.
That disruption can be incapacitating. But in some cases, she says, the person's mental state can dramatically affect how a taser works.
The extreme psychosis has shown actually that the adrenaline level were heightened in the case of the tasing and actually caused cardiac arrhythmia rather than causing the disruption in the CNS, which is the prescription of the taser. In the lower scale psychosis, interestingly enough, we've seen that the taser is not as effective indeed.
So the Taser 10?
In December, the NYPD began piloting a new model, the Taser 10. The old model emitted up to 50,000 volts, while the new model has a much lower voltage, less than 1,000. Experts, including Officer Chu, who has first-hand experience, say it's still effective.
Taser, taser, taser.
It has more probes that shoot individually, meant to be more accurate.
It gives them more control over the spread of the darts.
They start tasing him.
Of course, there are some who hope there will be a bigger shift to not use them at all.
That's my opinion. They took my son, they took my son's life away. They took everything from us.